Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and we're outside the bar that we bought earlier this year, and we have some exciting news. We have the liquor license in our name now, so we'll talk about that. But we have some less exciting news about kind of getting shut down on our remodel. So we'll talk about that as well, and some other dilemmas we're currently facing with having a bar in the middle of a pandemic. So we'll talk about that too. But of course, check out investormore.com for much more information on our flips, rentals, being an agent, all of that great stuff. We have 9 books on Amazon if you want really in-depth information on investing as well. And we love the likes and comments, so please keep those coming. And let's get started. Here's the bar, which we've done some work to. We painted the outside, but have not done a ton of work on yet. But we will show you what we've done inside. It's on a very busy highway, which makes it kind of noisy, but is perfect for a bar. And every time we're here, it doesn't matter for how long or short, there is somebody knocking on our door, stopping, trying to get a drink. So that's a good sign. And another good sign is our liquor license was approved or transferred to us. So we started that process a while ago. And I think it was 2 weeks or about 3 weeks ago, I had to go into town hall for a town hall meeting. They brought up the transfer of the liquor license to my company, 85 Tavern LLC, which is what we're calling it. That's Highway 85. And they asked me one question, and that's if we pulled permits for this property. And I said, we're in the process of doing that. And they approved it. So that was all there was. I was the only public person at the meeting, and the room for town hall was smaller than the bar. But super nice people, pretty easy process. So in my last video, I showed some of this, but some of the exciting stuff that I did talk about was we found all this brick underneath the wood paneling and plaster. And the old window right there, this used to be a gas station when it was first built. And so this door, I guess, I don't know if that went to a back room or just outside probably, had some windows that were covered up. We think it had big, giant windows in front. Well, hey, look, there's someone coming to the bar probably. More big windows over here. And it's just a little gas station, store, whatever. But when we uncovered the plaster, I peeked up there and saw some of the brick. We took some more of it off, found this brick, found this old cool door still here, the window. So our plan is to put kind of booths along this wall, but we're gonna leave as much brick and even that window and even that door there above the booth. So it should be pretty cool, we'll see. And the brick's in pretty decent shape. It's 100 years old, but still looks like it's mostly intact. So that was pretty cool to see that. It used to have a drop ceiling, which you can see is all gone now. See the cool, at least I think it's cool, paint falling down. So we'll try and keep that open as much as we can. And then we'll have the new bar over there, obviously. When we redo that, the old bar was mostly plywood, kind of rotting a little bit, falling apart, and it'd been there for 80 years. Well, maybe not that bar, but a long time. So it was pretty disgusting and dirty, and it was time to redo that. So we'll get that too. Now, one of the bad things about all this process is we were told by the town to shut down and not do any more work until we got permits. And I don't talk about permits a lot, but we literally were leaving all the walls the same, not doing any structural work, not really doing any plumbing changes. And they said that because we took the bar out and there was some electrical and plumbing in that bar, that we had to get a permit. So we did not think that was the case, but that's what they told us. And now we are in a waiting game because it's Safeco or whatever who does the permitting here. They're a month out just to approve the permit. So we're just waiting for them. And who knows how long that will take. So that's that process. We've dealt with them before, and it can be very frustrating because we'll have different inspectors come in and tell us different things every time they come talk to us. Like we did a little bit of foundation work one time in another property, and each time they came out, they told us we did the work wrong and needed to redo it. And the reason we did the work that way was because the previous inspector had told us that's how we should do it. So they didn't even know themselves, like, have a cohesive plan. So that can be a little frustrating, but something we have to deal with, so we'll deal with it there. But part of that, having to deal with the inspection, is not the worst news either, because we are in a pandemic and we're in Weld County, Colorado. And if you follow Colorado at all, we are in the news a lot in Weld County because our Weld County commissioners have come out and said, we're not really going to listen to the state for their coronavirus restrictions. We're going to let businesses do what they want to do. We're not going to interfere. They can go ahead and operate. The state, on the other hand, has shut down indoor dining, put many restrictions on businesses. So they have a different opinion than our county, and it's been kind of a little bit of a fight here. And so there were other restaurants, Bulldog Pub and Grub in Greeley. It's been in the news a lot because they stayed open and they kept serving liquor after that. The state came, shut them down, took away their liquor license with police, made a big scene. So there have been 4 restaurants, I think, in our county who have lost their liquor license, had it pulled because the state said they violated the law by not shutting down during the last restrictions for coronavirus. So if you own a bar, restaurant, you're in a tricky position in Weld County. And where we're at is even a trickier position because if you're ready to be open and you're not open, you're not going to make a real good impression with the town. But if you're open and following all the restrictions even, you might not make a good impression. So it's a very tricky situation where you're trying to balance staying in good relations with the town and your customers and, catering to them, and then dealing with the state and their restrictions and what they're saying you have to do, while at the same time the county is saying, well, we're not going to enforce anything the state says, but the state can still come and pull your liquor license. So right now, for us to be closed and not have this process moving quicker doesn't bother me at all. So hopefully, obviously we want to start working on it. We want to get it ready to go, but we're waiting on permits. Once we get the permits, we're going to start working on it. But hopefully by the time that is done, we're ready to go. Then things are open again. We won't have this dilemma. So that's where we're at right now. So it's not the worst thing in the world that we're not open, ready to go, and things are moving faster. So that's the dilemma. But we have our license. We just don't want to lose it. We are ready to work on it. We just can't till the permits are in. And then you can see we are saving some of this stuff. We had a plan that I showed in the last video, which I'll link to. It kind of shows how the new bar will look and where it will be. So they had a lot of equipment that we needed to buy, like 25 grand in equipment. We're not going to do that. We're going to reuse as much as we can. We don't need to have a ton of stuff in here, like super duper fancy things, since it's very small. But even the town board said, hey, we're really excited to have you open. We want to see you guys open. We love to come in. So we're excited too. We can't wait to get things moving and going, but we're at a little bit of a standstill based on everything going on in the world right now. So there's that whole issue that we have. But we'll keep you updated, let you know how this all goes, how it works out. Hopefully once we open and we're ready to go, it makes money. That's always a big concern and something we want to happen. So we'll talk about that too. And we're fairly new. Well, I shouldn't say fairly new, completely brand new to owning a bar. So it'll all be a learning experience, but we should be able to have some help, people to help us along the way. And then we have a lot of good connections here already, a lot of people waiting for us to open. So it's not like we're starting completely from scratch. All right, so that's the property. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Please let me know below in the comments what you think. We love seeing the likes. Of course, check out investmore.com. If you think we're crazy, if you think we should be open, if we think we should be closed forever, hey, you can let us know. And we have not had any people breaking in or living here, so that's always good, unlike some of our other businesses. And yeah, it'll be fun, it'll be neat, and I'm really excited about what it's going to look like once it's done, but there's a lot of work to do. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll be back soon.